All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I decided not to let my memes be dreams. I'm going YouTube famous, and we're going to do review videos. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you click the buttons down below. Make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications. And we're going to go over simple factoring and GCF factoring today. You're going to notice this is take 2 because I already wrote on this. The example didn't factor. So, we're going to do it again. This time for realsies. So, stay safe during the quarantine, and let's go over some vocab. So, polynomials are just groups of terms made of numbers and variables separated by addition or subtraction. So, if we look at this, this has 3 terms separated by subtraction and addition. So, this would be a trinomial. You can have binomials, trinomials, quadnomials, so on and so forth. Pretty much you're only going to be looking at trinomials. They're going to factor into binomials, and then maybe some 4th degree polynomials for grouping later, but So factors, they're going to be the smaller polynomials right here that get multiplied together to give us the bigger polynomial. So these small ones are the factors. This big one is the product. Okay, so factoring just means we're going to undo the multiplying. It's kind of like dividing. We're going to just break everything apart. So when I say factor, that means tell me what 2 things multiplied together to give me this polynomial. Cool. Okay, so you got 2 vocab words there. If you are writing them down because you're a wonderful student and you care about your education, where you're going in life, then make sure you copy those down. If you are not, then make sure you finish the video. That'd be sweet. Okay, for those of us going to college or trade school or not prison, we're gonna do some examples. So we want to factor this. This is just going to be simple factoring. And whoops, hold on, I can't talk. Facting. Let's try again. Factoring. Okay. You'll notice I can't talk and write at the same time. So, be aware. It's known that I'm illiterate. So we know this is simple factoring because there are 1, 2, 3 terms on this, and there's nothing in front of our x squared. If we put something in front of this x squared, it's going to be a different type, but we'll see that later. So this is simple factoring because there are 3 terms, and this is just a regular x squared. So we want to break this up into 2 things that multiplied together to give us this. And you're going to say, Mr. Barton, how do I ever guess what 2 things gave me that? Lucky for you, math is just studying patterns. So we're going to use some patterns to figure stuff out. So the first thing we want to look at is what are the factors of 4? See that? I wrote that without talking this time so I can think. Okay, so 4 has some factors. Right? We could do 1 times 4. I really like teaching online because none of you shouted out and interrupted me while I was going through this and let me give you one answer, and I'll give you a second one in a second, but it's so nice. Watch this. I can say things. 1 multiplied by 4 is 4, and no one interrupted me. That was so sweet. I love this quarantine. This is great. The other factors are 2 and 2, obviously. So we have 1 and 4 to work with and 2 and 2. And our goal, now that we have looked at all the factors of 4, is we need to pick a set of factors that are going to add up to this middle number. They could also subtract to this middle number. We can get a little creative. So if I want to make a 5, I ask myself, let's start with the one everyone likes, 2 and 2. Can we use a 2 and a 2 by adding and subtracting them together to make a 5? Well, 2 plus 2, that's 4. That's not 5. Let's try 2 minus 2. Nope, that's 0. Not it either. Let's try both negative. Dang it, negative 4. So you can see you can't make a 5. So that means, watch this, professional YouTuber, you can't use 2 and 2. Okay, so if we look at 1 and 4, we're going to see, can I make 5 with a 1 and a 4? And you can see you do. Watch this. 1 plus 4, 5. Incredible. So what that tells us is the two numbers, if we go look at our first vocab slide, x squared plus 5x plus 6 factors to x plus 2 and x plus 3. We just found that 2 and that 3. That's what this 1 and this 4 are. So we can fill those in right here. Positive 1, positive 4. Okay. The only other thing we have to think about is what goes in the front here. And to figure that out, you need to figure out what two things are going to multiply together to give us this first term. So what two things multiply together to give us x squared? And you scratch your head and you think back to what your kindergarten teacher taught you and you go, oh yeah, x times x is x squared. So x plus 1 times x plus 4, those are our factors of x squared plus 5x plus 4. Cool. All right, so let's go down here to example number 2. We're going to try and factor this one, but you're going to notice this one's a little weird, right? If we look at our example on the notes here, x squared. If you look at the example I just did, x squared. Now you're going to see x cubed. Oh no, what do we do? Oh no, give up. I'm going to just close the video, go back to bed. No way. You're not cowards, so we're going to finish it. So the first thing you want to try and do on every single factoring problem, this is like step 0. Like steps, here we go. We put 0. Take out a GCF. So you'll notice all three of these have something in common. They have an x, right? There's x cubed here. So this is like x times x times x. This is 9 times x times x. And then this is 14 times x. So we've got 3 x's here, 2 x's here, and an x here. I'm going to take an x from all of them, from each of them, rather, I should say. So I'm going to take this x, and this x, and this x, and we're going to factor them out. So they all group up together, and they're going to go out in front of the whole problem. So our problem is going to become x that we're taking out from each of them. And then you look at how many are left. Here there's 2, so this becomes x squared. Here there's 9 and x, so this is plus 9x. This is just 14, there are no x's left, so plus 14. Okay, what you just did here, this is called GCF factoring. You took a GCF out. I'm proud of you, dog. You can do it. That's your GCF right there, this thing. Label it. GCF. Okay, now step uno, actual step 1 now, is we're going to do simple factoring on the thing that's left over. Simple factor the parentheses. Okay, so we do the same thing here that we did up here. We're going to look at the factors of 14, and then we're going to figure out which set of them we can use to make a positive 9. So down here, simple factor 14. We're going to look at all of our factors. Watch this. No one's even going to tell me the one I need. They're going to let me say all of them because you can't stop me because it's a video and you're not at my house. 1 and 14, 2 and 7. Okay, so now we need 2 that'll add up to 9. Right? So now you put your thinking cap on. Right? That's you. Stick your finger up there. I wonder what it could be. That's right. We can use 2 and 7 to make a 9. So this is going to factor to something plus 2. And then something else plus 7. This GCF doesn't go away. It's still hanging out outside. This thing is like undergoing mitosis or meiosis or whatever that biology word is, where it splits into 2 things. It's splitting apart. This X is a GCF that kind of stands around and watches, like a voyeur or something like that, or some other French word. Okay, so what two things multiply to make x squared? That's right, we remember from every other example you've seen your whole life, x and x. Cool, you did it. Okay, dos más. Sweet. So example number 3. Again, step 0 is check for a GCF. This is 3x times x. This is 6x, and this is 3. So we don't have any x's in common in all of these, but 3 goes into 3, 6, and 3. So we can take a number out this time instead of a variable. So we'll put our 3 in front. We have, that goes away. We have 2 x's left, so x squared. 3 goes into 6 2 times, so plus 2x, just bring that down. And then 3 goes into 3 1 time, so plus 1. There's that. Sorry, there's some dog hair. All right, now, actual step 1, simple factor. Wow, writing's hard. Sorry, you guys. I've been on spring break for too long. So we're going to simple factor the parentheses. So we need 2 numbers that multiply to 1 and add up to 2. So we look at our factors of 1, and then you guys would say 1. And I would go 1 and, and then you guys would all look at me like I'm stupid. And then eventually the smart kid would say 1. I go, oh, very good. Who's my favorite student today? Max. That's my dog. He's sitting over there. Good job, Max. You're brilliant. Okay, so we bring down our GCF, 3. Our 2 factors we have to use are 1 and 1 because those are only options. Does that work? 1 plus 1 is 2. Cool. 1 times 1 is 1. We're good to go. So plus 1, plus 1. And then what 2 things multiply to give us x squared? X and x. Okay, if you want to get really fancy and impress me, you could write this as 3x plus 1 squared, because there's 2 of them. But that's only if you want to be honors someday. Okay, last one. Example number 4 is x squared minus 16. This is a tricky one. This is one that you guys get stuck on all the time, so let me help you out. Okay. The first thing we want to do is look at it and compare it to all the other ones we've already done. Let's compare it to this nice easy one here. All right, example 1. Let's see. We have an x squared. We still have an x squared. Same dealio. Okay. We got a number. There's a number. But this one has a 5x in the middle. Where'd the middle go here? He asked questioningly. Right? So our middle is gone. So what's the number for none, right? It's not there. 0. Very good, children. X squared plus 0x minus 16. Now we do the same thing. So this is just simple factoring. We look at the factors of 16. They are 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. The integer ones anyway. Okay, so now our goal here is to multiply to give a negative 16. If I want a negative, I can't have them both be positive, and I can't have them both be negative, because then when we multiply it's positive. So I have to have one of each. So I'm going to have a plus something and a minus something. Okay, now we need these 2 numbers, to the positive one minus the other one, to equal 0. So let's see, 1 minus 16, that's negative 15, not even close. 2 minus 8, that's negative 6, no way. 4 minus 4, 0. Incredible, children. We figured it out. They must match. Okay, now x squared, what do we get? X and x. All right, so there you go. There's some examples. If that was too fast, rewind the video and watch it again. If it was still too fast, look in your notes that you took last semester if you didn't throw them away or burn them. If that is not an option, email me. Okay, You guys are wonderful. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't accept food from strangers. Tell your parents you love them. Be nice to them. Do something without being asked today. Have fun.